Hello, my dear friends! Today, we are going to bend time.
In one of our previous episodes, How Old is the Soil?, my buddy Wiggly Wiggy and I traveled back about 4.5 billion years to the Precambrian period.
We investigated how old the soil, in other words, how old I am. I will add that episode to the end of this one, so if you haven't watched it yet or want to watch it again, you can see what our world was like during the Precambrian period. At the end of the Precambrian period, which lasted about 4.5 billion years, our world entered a new era, the Cambrian period. The Cambrian period began approximately 541 million years ago and marks the beginning of the Paleozoic era.
The Paleozoic era is the time before the Mesozoic era, the time when dinosaurs ruled the world, and it began with the appearance of huge shelled creatures in the sea. It lasted for about 289 million years.
Do you know what the world was like during the Cambrian period? Let's travel through time again. Our destination, the Cambrian period. In the Cambrian period, the world had a completely different map, with continents much different from what we know today, and it was dominated solely by the sea. While the Gondwana supercontinent formed a huge mass in the southern hemisphere, smaller continents like Laurentia, Baltica, and Siberia were scattered around the equator. Of course, these continents no longer exist today. Over millions of years, the movement of tectonic plates gave our world the shape we know now. And you know what, my dear friends? Earth's continents are still shifting and changing. We will talk more about this in our future episodes. During the Cambrian period, most of the land was scattered from the South Pole to the equatorial region of the Southern Hemisphere. The rest of the world was covered in water. So, during the Cambrian period, which lasted for millions of years, the world was like a giant water park. The spreading of the continents into smaller pieces allowed shallow seas to form, and the environment became perfect for building sandcastles. In these shallow waters, creatures suddenly began to become more numerous, more diverse, more colorful, and more shelled. Wait a minute, shelled? Let me explain. To adapt to their environment and survive, creatures began using minerals provided by nature, such as calcium, to create hard outer layers, those wonderful shells. Actually, this wasn't just a success for the creatures. It was a millions of years-long collaboration between the soil, the water, and the elements within them. The minerals of the inanimate nature turned into the designs of living beings, and thus nature's first design festival began. The memories of this magnificent collaboration that started in the oceans that day have been carried to the present day thanks to those precious shells. The fossils we find under the soil today tell us both about the creatures of that day and the inanimate world, the minerals and the structure of the continents that those creatures were a part of. There wasn't a sudden explosion of life in the Cambrian period. It's just that thanks to those wonderful shells, information was carried millions of years into the future. Since previous creatures didn't have such durable shells that could stand the test of time, we cannot learn enough about them to create an explosion effect. So, today we are all part of those elements in the soil, water, and air,
part of those creatures that once lived in those tiny shells and part of nature's endless design festival.
All those fossil shells are the most beautiful witnesses of this eternal bond of love between nature's inanimate elements and living creatures, and our common story that spans millions of years.
There was another very exciting innovation in the Cambrian period. Creatures stopped living only on the surface of the sea and began to dig into the seabed, exploring the depths of the oceans.
These tiny explorers, just like today's earthworms, began to aerate the sediment, sea soil, by constantly moving the ocean floor. Thanks to this activity, oxygen in the water reached the depths of the soil. This was the first and most important ecological design step that led to the formation of the soil we walk on today.
In other words, this gentle mixing movement that started on the ocean floor that day laid the foundation for the formation of the modern soil we know on Earth millions of years later.
Nature started the first soil engineering at the bottom of the oceans that day, allowing the Earth to breathe.
The story of the fertile soil we feel under our feet today actually began in the depths of the Cambrian with the gentle touches of those creatures.
Now you know the importance of the Cambrian period too.
Remember, those who love the soil the most are the ones who know it best.
Join my adventures, learn, discover, and become a soil hero too!
Now, every weekend on Saturdays and Sundays, we will be together with our new adventures!
Don't miss out! Subscribe now and turn on notifications! It's time to explore!
Toppy time, let's grow and shine! Toppy time, the garden's mine! Dig it, drop it, water, pop it, sprout so fast, you can't stop it. Little green buds doing the shimmy, turning the dirt into something